I'm Genevieve Bargello.
And I'm Eileen Wurst.
And this is CFB News.
Last week, we enjoyed our annual Crispy Fest that was themed Carnival. I was able to partake in some of the festivities, even though CFB News was not officially covering the event. I can report back that the $1.50, quote, pre-used sausage that was used in a sausage-throwing game was, while delicious after 7 rounds of $1.50 sausages, did not bode well. I ended up having to go to the hospital and getting my stomach pumped. What I can say, the Jell-O selections, quite delicious. We'll now pop over to Genevieve, who will fill us in on what she did during her vacation of Crispy Fest.
Yeah, so because I've been in town, I've been working like a dog recently, so I wanted to get out of town and make it down to the beach. I really enjoyed my time on the sand and the sea. I did not get ill, and I actually had quite a relaxing experience laying on a sun chair and enjoying watching the waves go by. I did lose a necklace in the ocean, but maybe it'll be like a Titanic thing for me.
How lovely. We're so happy for you.
This has been CFB News. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
Man, Felicia. I was so scared. I said your name wrong.
You were so scared you said your name wrong. I was going to say that's the sizzling sound of hot Java. You remember when we used to call coffee Java? I feel like we don't do that anymore.
Did we? Like, hardcore?
In
our lifetime. I thought you meant in our lifetime. I'm like, I don't think
No.
that really happened while we were here. So.
I feel like in my head it happened in like 2005, but I guess I wasn't that conscious then, so maybe that's an invention of the brain.
Yeah, I mean, people would be like, oh, Java. I think Java was like a coffee place.
Maybe.
Don't hold me to it. But anyway.
We're doing a coffee shop today. We haven't touched a cafe yet. And this is very much a blank slate, and I feel like this might be another theming adventure, an adventure in the theme. Because you know what? That's speaking to me today.
I'm excited. As somebody who no longer gets to drink coffee, but really enjoyed her time while she had it.
Yes.
I think this will be a nice indulgence into what once was and what could have been and what doesn't get to be, but now can be somewhere in a universal, parallel universe, mind palace, so to speak. Because I think an important thing going into this, I don't drink caffeine anymore, so... I will be requesting non-caffeinated.
There was one episode of the previous podcast of which we do not speak where you had like the third round dredges of like a K-cup or something like that, and you were off your gourd.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm very sensitive to it now.
Meanwhile, it's 6:30 p.m. and I'm drinking like decaf,
Yeah,
which I guess is not that hardcore. It is still decaf.
For me, it would be hardcore. Like, if I have a decaf, I have to be prepared that I'm just going to be a little stressed because my heart rate's going to go up. So I think this will be really fun to... See, if
I have a decaf, I get so chill. It's, like, dangerous.
That's, like, really... I wish that could be my experience. I'd love that.
I don't know. I think I Pavloved myself into enjoying, like, black coffee. So now it's, like, my preferred dessert, which sounds very depressing.
My grandparents always did that. They were like, dessert is coffee.
I love it.
You know what?
It's
and
like
from Delaware,
chocolate,
and they're
longer.
close to Pennsylvania. So maybe this is just like a northern thing that happens more often.
I don't know. My grandparents always did it, and I was like, man, this is crazy, guys.
Interesting. And they always cheersed. My grandparents cheersed for literally any liquid in any hand at any meal.
That's very sweet.
I was like, okay, sure.
So this is love.
We'd be in like an Italian restaurant. They'd be like, and cheers. Okay. But this is now entering Clatfartburg, a comedy world-building podcast. My name's Elaine.
And I'm Felicia.
And we're expanding upon the fictional town of Clatfartburg, getting at all the little nooks and crannies. If you're new here, we recommend sometimes starting at the first episode, but we also just recorded a recap of the entire last year of episodes. So if you are, coming back into us and you kind of figure out what's going on, or if you're like, I'm overwhelmed starting from episode 1, you can listen to 1 hour and get fully caught up. And then,
it probably won't be as emotionally satisfying as the original episodes.
Yeah.
But it's utilitarian. It is utilitarian.
Yes. It's a really good way to put it. So just know that that's out there. But today we are going to open the doors of this little cafe, this coffee shop, and we are, I'm excited. Felicia said theme. It's always exciting when we let ourselves do the theme. I think we've done very well holding back on.
Recently, we've pushed ourselves away from the theme, and I want to open it to us because, to be honest, I don't think I have many interesting things to say about a boring coffee shop. I feel like I've been to a million of them. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
And I think there's not many. I'm not talking cat cafe. I want to stay away from like the cafes that do exist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you don't see a themed cafe. Do you know what I mean?
No, I understand.
In the way that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because when we say theme, we mean animatronics. We mean Rainforest Cafe.
Yes.
Which is funny because Rainforest Cafe does have the word cafe in it, which I didn't think about it.
That is interesting because it's not really a cafe.
No, it's really not. Huh.
No, that's interesting for us to play with. What is a coffee shop?
Are we thinking pastries or are we thinking sandwiches?
I'm thinking,
what's the extent of non-coffee products and non-beverage products?
Yeah, I think we definitely have baked goods, and
Obviously.
I think maybe we have like 3 sandwiches and 2 salads.
No more than that.
And maybe a rotational seasonal thing, but it's not like you could get your food there, but people don't go there to get food. It's just like, I'm already like working here. Let me get my food there too. So I think that's a solid menu choice. Oh no. I just keep thinking of dinosaurs and I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I had a moment where I was like, haunted cafe? I did think about that, but I don't know if that's too much of our hunch for lunch.
That's a good, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that might be a little too close, but I like that idea of like something spooky, a Southern Gothic coffee shop.
I mean, that actually sounds good.
That sounds hilarious. Great. I think all the employees have to have a Southern accent, and they're very bad Southern accents. Yeah, and they're all different, very different regionally Southern accents that are just all over the place. I'm into a Southern Gothic coffee shop.
The only thing is I don't know if I know enough about Southern Gothic to make an hour's worth of material out of it.
Yeah, I think if we do that, what we can really just play off of is it's dramatic and there's weird Southernisms throughout.
What if I like this. What if they were trying to bank off the Rainforest Cafe and they called it the Swamp Cafe?
Oh, that's good.
Like, what's another locale? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the swamp that can play into the Southern Gothic. So you have that, and then there's like, what's the name of the playwright? Tennessee Williams plays going on constantly.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, like, you open the door. What is the background music? Is it acoustic cover? But, like, maybe it's like, what would be a weird... I think it's... I like the idea of cover songs, but, like, they're gonna... Whatever the, like, version of the cover is something really weird.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of... I'm going crazy about what this place looks like visually.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to stick with me. I do think they're cover songs. I do think over everything there's a lot of cricket noises and general insect ambiance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're playing those. Okay, the vision I just had is that you walk in and you're on like a wooden bridge and there is swampy ponds of water and all the table are boats.
I think that's fucking genius. I love that so much.
I want to go
so
there.
Fun. I want to go there too.
And it looks like it's nighttime all the time. And,
oh yeah, you walk in there and like
stars on the ceiling,
and there's just like lanterns that are the lights.
God, this is too. I want to go.
Oh my gosh! And they've gotten so pluff mud sometimes happens around swamps, and it is a very smelly mud. It's quite pungent.
They pump in the pluff mud.
I think they get some pluff mud. I think they try to get different swamp stuff. Like they'll like, okay, let's try this, like, you know, whatever. Because like a swamp through different seasons, they kind of stay the same.
Right.
Like a swamp isn't really going to ever freeze over. That's not really their vibe. But I like, so looking at these boat tables, are they like awkwardly low to the ground? Like it's like literally like you're going to sit down in a dinghy and like.
Well, I was thinking they're floating in water, so.
So this is like actual water.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Let me imagine this now.
Okay, do you know what it's like being in a cafe and you have a table that's just like a little bit off?
Yeah.
And if you move at all, your entire drink spills over the table. Imagine you have a hot latte and you are in a dinghy.
I think just trying to step into it
You have to
would be
sign
a
a waiver
nightmare.
so they don't have a McDonald's lawsuit on their hands. Or all their drinks are made to room temp so no one gets mad at them.
Okay, I think what they do is like you have your boat, but then on the side there's a post and it has like a little cup holder and maybe a little like tiny tray so you can put it there as you sit. So it's still really embarrassing getting into the boat, which is like also like fun fact about me, big fear of mine. I'm always afraid of getting in boats because I'm like, I look really fucking stupid right now because I'm just not graceful about it. I know no one really is, but I like extra and I'm just like, this is not a good look on me right now.
I think they also like... Maybe you have to sit in the boat and then they hand you your drink, but it's really embarrassing because there's just someone staring, watching you get in the boat. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. And I think that's really...
Well, that guy, he's dressed like a groundskeeper. He's got a long trench coat, but there's patches in it, and he holds a lantern, and he's got a really long beard, and he just, like, deadpan stares ahead at everybody. Like, and he, like, busses the tables, but he's just, like, staring the whole time.
Yeah.
And you're like... Knockage down done here at the swamp. Oh, the swamp. You can hear... Oh, my God. The frog noises they're going to have, too. I don't know if you've heard the fucking... Like, they get so loud, and there's, like, frogs that don't sound like frogs anymore, and they're... Like, it's like, what the fuck?
It's very much just really interesting because they're like, do your work at this place. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to bring my laptop to sit in a boat surrounded by water as frogs scream out the corner. And people are like, you're on a Zoom call for work and they're like, hey, are you in the swamp right now? Yeah, I actually am. Believe it or not, there's actually a place, I'm traveling through Clatfartburg, and they have a little swamp cafe here. It has a better name than Swamp Cafe. I think that was the original idea. We'll land on it later.
Get there.
But, I think maybe there's different areas of seating. This may be one area of seating. Mm-hmm. Maybe. No, that's crazy. How big is this?
I think we can make it pretty big. I think we have to.
Let's enable ourselves.
Let's allow ourselves the playground, and then we can pare back if need be. But I say this can be as big as we need it to be.
Okay.
Oh, a bunch of cypress knees could like create little bench nooks and stuff. So it's still a weird table, but it's more stable. So for those of you who don't know, like when you go into a swamp, cypresses, they're these big trees, but their roots have to kind of go above the water, so they kind of stick out like tiny stumps, so they call them knees. And so they're just kind of scattered everywhere, and they kind of look spooky at night.
You go.
I'm imagining like a bunch of these tiny little stumps, if they're kind of put together, you kind of have to like walk over them to not get on the water. They can use them as a stepping stone to get a nicer seat in a tree.
Nice.
I could see that being a fun thing.
Okay, maybe you get in the dinghy, all right?
Okay.
And then there's like like they have like a little tiny alligator that's like propeller operated that like goes to the water to bring your drink to you.
I was gonna say we have to have the gators up in here.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, yeah. So
maybe you can. I don't know what is that Gator service. Is that extra or less because it does spill 80% of the time? Yeah. Maybe this is something people are really trying to get going, but it is a big loss leader for the company.
Yeah. Especially because it's like the battery is so low that sometimes it just like stops halfway through and they're like, oh, the gator's hunting. The gator's hunting. Now, you might not know this. Gators don't float horizontally. They actually float with their little toesies on the ground. And that's just what it's doing right now. And yes, your drink did follow down to the swamp, but that's the life at the swamp. Things get full.
It's what gives it its swampy color. It's all the coffee and lattes that have been deposited into it.
Yeah, we're speaking of that color. We do have certain merchandise. We have a nice little tool belt, and it says on the side, I'm swamped. And that's the fun thing there about being swamped, is we're in the swamp. And yeah, I'm actually going to keep talking to you for another 15 minutes as part of my southern hospitality. So if there's anything you want in the meantime, I might be able to do it for you. And you're just like in your fucking boat. What's the Wi-Fi password?
Oh my god, that's such a great question.
Like this could be interesting. What if it was like they were like, oh, swamp password? What if we just call it Swamp Pass? Just sounds like swamp ass.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's really good. I was trying to come up with a complicated alligator coffee pun, but I got stuck.
Oh, I mean, we can go to the menu. This is where we shine. Please.
Yeah, this is our specialty.
This is the same team that came up with cold case brownies and mashed potatoes. And
yeah, these actually aren't very good. Now that you're saying them out loud, I'm not actually feeling really confident about
I
our
started losing
here.
inspiration for a little bit. That's okay. Okay, but I like a gator because gators are such a big. I was thinking like gators, mosquitoes, the toads, and then just they're the people who live in the swamp, the hermits, the people in the Everglades who are just hanging out in the swamps. I think about it all the time. I find it very romantic.
A lounge singer who comes in and does gator and swamp themed parodies of songs like "Ba-ba-da-bee, it's that old mosquito." That's so stupid.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to the entertainment because I really like. I really like that idea. When we talk about their drink selection, how much variety and how much, because I know they're swamp themed, they're trying to keep it maybe more like bare bones nature vibes, but could you still get a version of a frappuccino here? Could you get matcha?
And
I
are
think
they
that's
like one of those
the...
like very espresso based places, which I mean every coffee shop is. But
do you have like a barista who's really like crafting this, has latte art, or is it just like a, we got the drip coffee going and stuff?
I think drip coffee they recommend as the most authentic experience. And they're like, what? What do you mean the most authentic experience? But I think that's what they recommend, And I think they do have names for all the different types of coffee drinks. Like the Italian names and stuff. Like, your Americanos, your lattes.
We call them American. It's just American.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
More expensive drip coffee is what we call it. What I like to call it.
See you latte alligate. Oh, Jesus. Wait, can they call espressos? They haven't legally gotten into trouble yet, but they call little espresso shots. They come with a tiny little like alligator, like weird, horrible, like handmade ceramic like thing. And these espresso shots are just called Gatorades.
That's kind of fun.
And they're little Gatorades. But there's like a space, so it's okay.
But it is odd because you're in this place where there's fully boats on the floor and you're like, yeah, can I get the Gatorade? Like, it does feel weird. It just feels strange.
That's the part that feels strange.
I don't know. I mean, it does feel strange to me. I don't know. Yes. I think they're very consistent about putting a lot of grounds at the bottom of the coffee cup.
Oh, yeah. What, you think you go into the bayou, you take a nice little dip, you're not gonna get some mud in your teeth?
You go dredging in the swamp.
You go for a swamp hike, that's what we call it. You go walk around for a swamp.
A swamp at the bottom of each cup. That's the promise.
Oh my god, these people leave this coffee shop and they're squinting and then they just have like so much dirt basically in their teeth. And people are like, what just happened? Like I really want like a nice spa to be next door and people are like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. It's like next to a Pilates place and the spa.
Yes. And it's just like everyone's like, what's going on here? But the coffee is really good. There's something in those grounds. Believe it or not, because there has to be a reason people are coming. Unless this place is like haunted by like 5 people basically, and the owner just had a lot of money and was like, I'm keeping this place. Fucking maybe the tourists will like end up there, but you never go back. I don't know. I guess it depends.
I can't imagine, there'd be a lot of regulars.
Yeah, because
I feel like the best coffee shop in Clatfartburg probably isn't doing all this, and I'm not saying that a place with real boats and water pools can't also be a good cafe. But I do believe that maybe one that put their money not towards that might be better.
Yeah.
So I do think it's not the best coffee shop in Clatfartburg, but it is the most Clatfartburg coffee shop of Clatfartburg.
Yeah, exactly. And it's unique because, Maybe one day we will discuss if there is a swamp and what that swamp is like that is existing within the Clatfartburg grounds. But for now, there's just a lake. So, like, how do you got to bring the swamp to the people, you know? And maybe they get really touchy about that. They're like, oh my gosh, is this a recreation of the lake? And they go, well, no, a swamp is different than a lake. You think you swimming out there and you getting alligators? You ain't getting no gators out there. You know what you're getting here. You're going to get stung by our live mosquitoes we have imported directly from Florida. You are going to enjoy the bull toads that we...
Bull toads are fine. I'm vetoing mosquitoes.
Yeah, we won't do that to people. Wait, they have them in a cute little, like, terrarium. And it's got, like, the way that fish tanks can have little castles and stuff. I don't know what the fuck they put in there, but they're like, you can see a live mosquito. You've probably never seen one. These are the big boys. Our owner, he went down to Florida, caught them in a little mason jar, and this is the 50th, 100th generation mosquitoes. Reproduce quite quickly. And it's very interesting to be seeing what they're doing. So you can see they enjoy our coffee grounds as well, and when a mosquito has access to a coffee ground, wild things start to happen, because coffee ground, it's in our blood, and they like blood, but it's not blood, to be clear. Anyway, and then someone steals the mosquitoes.
Do you think there's rumors that there's a body in one of the mini lakes, mini swamps?
Oh yeah, I mean, what better cover up could there be?
And I think they encourage this. That's probably part of it, is to be like, well, make sure not to turn over your boat. You don't want to join any more of the miserable souls down there, you know?
I don't know if we want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to do this, but...
I'm probably going to say yes.
You know, we've enjoyed playing with siblings.
Yeah.
So what if a Hunch for Lunch has a sibling or a relative who... because I feel like themed food is interesting, and maybe these are all the region. You know, like
I've thought about this too.
I don't know
if
the connection.
Feel
maybe ex-best friends.
My brain was saying twins.
That's even better.
I don't know, something about twins is speaking to me.
Oh, I love this.
But I was also feeling a Hunch for Lunch connection, and I
was like, there's got to be something there.
It is. There is a Southern Gothic themed cafe and a murder mystery themed restaurant do feel more related than just being themed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in the same universe, you know?
Yeah. Now, what makes you, if they're twins, and they don't have to be on bad terms, I wonder if, you know what if it's like Swamp Twin is so excited and thinks they have great ideas. Hunch for Lunch Twin is like, yeah, that's a great idea. You know what you should actually do? I don't think Hunch for Lunch can do all of these things. You should just open up, like, and they were like, what's something that won't compete with us? And they're like, a coffee shop. Because maybe that twin, Swamp Twin, isn't good at puzzles. You know, that's okay. Yeah. Not everybody is. Swamp Twin really enjoys swamp.
I'm sure they'd appreciate being called Swamp Twin. Actually, they probably would. They built this place.
Yeah, that's how they differentiate.
We built this city on gators and mosquitoes. That was so bad. Sorry.
It was interesting.
I don't know why I did that.
It was like, why that song? Why?
I don't know.
Rock me, mama, like a swamp gator.
The syllables didn't even work.
Did you know that every time they open the shop, they have to play Wagon Wheel?
I don't know that song.
Oh. Well, I think I have no choice but to sing it to you right now.
Do it.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. So Darius Rucker did a cover of that song, and it fucking blew up when I was abroad in Ireland.
Wow.
And they were like, oh my gosh, it's an Irish song. I'm like, it's fucking American. So don't worry, guys. Patriot off grounds as well. Anyway. Anyway, it's like a very like kind of country-esque song, but it's not like twang-twang. It wouldn't scare people. Well, it's very loud when they open it. Everyone, it's like the rooster of the neighborhood, so to speak. They're like, oh.
Rock me like a wagon wheel.
Oh, because he also does a cover sometimes. Actually, I want Swamp Twin to be like a wild lady.
Oh, I agree. Yes.
A wild woman, you know?
Yeah.
A swamp witch, but not a witch. But you know, like I love this idea.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think she dresses like it's 1952 all the time.
Oh.
That was my vision.
Okay. Yes, that's better. I was imagining someone just like constantly wearing seaweed around them, despite the fact a swamp doesn't have seaweed, but just trying to be like a swamp creature. But I like this 19...
She like watched Sunset Boulevard and she was like, I want that to be me when I grow up. And it was like, is that what you took away from that? You know what I mean? It's not.
If she looks like so nice in this gross place, I guess what are the what's the uniform? I think that'll help me like picture her better. That's what I was thinking, is because
I'm thinking maybe this is a too segmented cafe. Because I think we can get a lot with the swamp, but if we want to move on to more Southern Gothic, there has to be something else.
Is there a house? Is there a
I
house
think
in the
there's
swamp?
a mansion.
There's a mansion in the
it's
swamp.
It's decrepit, but there's a creepy family that lives there still, and it might be haunted.
Right, but I think there's one or two really nice rooms, and that's kind of where she dwells. Do you know what I mean?
This is so giving Nancy Drew Thornton Hall. Oh my god. That just hit me. Holy shit. Go play it, guys. Good game. When did I play that tonight? Don't start. No.
You have to make an agenda for your evening.
I do. Well, because, like, I have to take care of my zoo as well. Like, I'm a busy woman. Caritha. Was a name that came to me for something. And
Is that real?
And to my knowledge, Caritha is not a name of this.
I found a few people named Caritha.
Oh, hell yeah. Caritha. It's definitely not a southern name.
No.
But I don't know if the twins southern. What if they like had a weird parent trap thing where one grew up in the South and one grew up in like New England?
Hell yeah. I love it.
I'm Swamp Twin. And I am Harvard Twin. I really enjoyed my experience there. I made a lot of good friends. And I decided that I really enjoy hospitality, but also I just really enjoy codes and puzzles. And so I really dived into that part of myself, which would allow the Ivy League chaotic, I don't want to say psychosis that has gone into the planning of Hunch for Lunch, but if you lock the bathrooms for people to access, there's something a little sinister there that I kind of enjoy, you know?
It's like she could have started a tech company or done that.
Yes, exactly. There were two paths before me, a fork in the road, if you will. And I decided to pick up that fork and put it in a potato. That's right. A Hunch for Lunch was born. I'm Swamp Twin.
Hi, everybody. I'm Swamp Twin.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for... Well, wait, if we're doing a housewife, we're probably going to have more of a southern accent like this.
No, that's more what it is, yeah.
Okay, we're a little more of this. We're a little more... this is a little more on the Louisiana side a bit, you know. We're talking about the bayou, and I think you should buy you this coffee over here, if you know what I'm saying, darling. Oh, my goodness. Sweetie pie, honey, sugar pot. Would you like that cornbread over there? We put 2 pounds of sugar in it.
All the different syrups are named Sweetie Pie, Honey, Sugar Pot.
Ah, that's really good.
That's pretty good, guys.
Oh, that's really good.
Hey, guys, I got one. But there's a really interesting contrast because you have like this old groundskeeper who's like, I ain't never seen anybody go past these grounds, and then this like, hello woman at the front desk. Like, it's just a very different vibe,
right?
You know?
Oh,
is that her husband?
Yes. 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 We have a policy over here. It's called the Bless Your Heart policy. So if you or the Gator accidentally spills your drink, you get 1/2 refill, and we give you a little bit of a, oh, bless your heart, you fucking idiot. But we don't say that, but... And then we just go on, and I will hand deliver it to you. My arm will be straight perpendicular out from me. I will look head down, eyes straight ahead at you as I saunter over with my lantern and the frog. I'll have a frog
Does
in
he
my
put
pocket.
the drinks in the lantern?
It's the world's biggest fucking lantern.
You see this guy, like I'm picturing him, he's super tall. He's like a hulking dude coming over to you. He's wearing like overalls, they're dirty. And he has a lantern with like a light from the bottom that's holding like a 16-ounce iced caramel macchiato. And it's coming to you.
We got your sandy swamp drink here. Put it on the April. That's what we call it, ice, because April is as cold as it might be getting over here in the swamp.
I'll be back with the blonde gator for your friend.
Sorry. I just imagine they get a little... Not to add another tiny dog. I was just imagining a corgi. They dress up as a gator that just like swims around sometimes.
Love
too.
it. Dogs dressed up as other animals.
I really... army of dachshunds, all dressed as little gators. Whee! That right there's Mimsy. Mimsy's a gator who's 4 years old. Don't be surprised when Mimsy gets a little snappy at you. Please don't feel...
You're sitting at this restaurant. You're on a Zoom call. You're in a boat. This dog, you're watching, and there's something splashing you. And there is a dog in a gator costume doggy paddling through the latte-infested waters of this indoor downtown swamp.
There's a bunch of little wiener dogs floating around, man. And it's like 8 of them, and they're all happy. Don't worry, they love swimming. They're like the dogs that love swimming, just to be clear, these little toys and stuff. What if they have the cups on their backs? And they're the ones they give them a treat, and they're like waiting to get to you, and then sometimes there's boats before you, and they have treats, and then they get your treat before you. And it's a survival
You need to work on not telling all your ideas while you're laughing.
Dachshunds today. Me and Elaine. I saw 4 of them, and I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm full of allergies.
Okay, so what I got
Yeah.
is the dachshunds swim up to you with a drink on their back, and you have to give them a treat to get the drink. Mm-hmm. And sometimes multiple come up to you, and they all demand treats.
Yeah, you know, like when you go putt-putting and there's like that weird like fish like gumball machine, you put in a quarter and you get a handful of fish food, and all the fish come over and they're like putting their mouths out of the water to go moo, 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 and it's the most horrifying thing.
Yes, okay.
Just imagine that. I don't know why I just didn't say, like, if you're a group of dogs, you pull out a treat, they're all going to come to you too. Why did I provide such a horrifying image? I'm so
and
sorry,
why do they have
everybody.
cups on their back?
What I was saying too is like a problem could be 2 people could order a blonde gator, and they think, oh, that's my blonde gator. And let's say your boat's further back, and they also put out their treat. They get their blonde gator first. Oh, and then what if people just keep, like, you ordered first, but you keep getting... So it's really, like, you want to be sitting closer to the counter. Or order, like, a really weird, unique thing off the menu.
Yeah.
You know, because there's the blind gator. That one has moonshine in it. So it's just like, what? Yeah. Let's talk about this house. I think we need to explore this house more now that we've... Yeah. Really flesh out the horrifying
a beautiful swampside mansion.
Welcome to Swamp Manor. Swamp Manor. It's been here for
I think it's like a facade that's inside the building, and there's maybe you can experience like 2 or 3 rooms inside. You know what I mean? That's where you order. You walk up the pathway, and then there's all these dinghies on either side, and then there's maybe a room or 2 of seating in there. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's good. And I guess, like, I think the lighting needs to be off. Like, I think it can't be, like, perky, super happy, good lighting. No. Like, I think it needs to be, like,
you can
fake black mold.
Read this menu.
Yeah. No, is it a chalk menu? This is a question. Is it a chalk menu, and they just keep erasing it and writing it, and you can't read it for shit? Or is it, like, what's another... I don't know. I was trying to think. I like, there's nothing more stressful than going to one of these places, and they either have a giant menu that's all chalk written, and, like, my eyes just can't do it, or it's, like... You just have to fucking know what's going on. Maybe it's only verbally told to you.
That's what it feels like. It's that, or you have to like get like a newspaper. and open it like that, and that's how you get your menu.
Here's the news today for everybody. Freshly printed. And people keep like a little newspaper. So maybe this is where the twins came together, because I think maybe there's a classic old painting that the eyes would move that Hunch for Lunch no longer needed. Maybe the Swamp Cafe gets the leftovers.
I like that. Yeah.
The leftovers that either are like 20 years old and they don't really work anymore, or they're just like kind of ugly. They did like something didn't print out right, and Hunch Twin is like, Swamp Twin, this is for you, you know? And Swamp Twin's like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, this is going to be so cute. Thank you so much for this little tarantula with fangs. I think it could be a cute little, I think we can make that a hound. I think we can make it a hound. We'll put little ears on it, and if we just bunch those legs together and make them 4 instead of 8, and then we can walk around to people and put on a leash and just drag it behind us, you know, and if you can make little barking noises, I think we can really make this work. Tarantula. We can call him Tantu, for short. And it's cute because he's a tarantula, but really we're trying to pass him off as a dog, and Tantu sounds like Toto, and Tutu, and Toto is the little doggy. I don't know if you've heard of this Wizard of Oz thing that's been going around. Oh, wow, you know, that little thing. So then you just get a little tarantula. Now, what are we going to do with all this webbing? I say nets. Now, we got to be careful with the gators. We don't want our little dachshunds swimming into the nets and getting confused. So we'll have to put those maybe overhead. Maybe people have to duck now or get encompassed by the net.
I'm really drawn to one of the rooms just being like an intimate dining room. Do you know what I mean? Like an ornate dining room. So you don't get like tables by yourself, but like
it's a really long table, but it feels weird. It's like, am I allowed to sit here with you? Because it's not like the like beer garden long bench kind of picnic table vibe. You're like, this is very like fancy, but it is communal.
Right. There's a lot of like silver plates. There's a hutch with items in it.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well,
there's like
and that's where you like get your napkins and your sporks. Bones in a bowl.
There's like a fake window with an old gnarled tree, and you're like, that doesn't match up with why didn't you just put in a real window? That would feel better.
Right.
To look out at the swamp.
Well, the natural lighting would get in the way of all the stuff we've created, and we have so much water that we figured if there's light could show and produce more mold. So if we keep the lights out, then how can the mold find us? You know what I mean? It can't be.
How can it find us?
How can it find us, you know? I think there has to be a lot of hot sauce everywhere. In other words, if we're really, you know, adding in some Southern flavor, there's going to be...
But it's like modern hot sauce.
Yeah, but maybe they've put it in some fancy like teaware or whatever. And they're like, you know, you're like, oh, the cream. And it's like, here comes the Tabasco. And it's just like, whoa. And it comes out. I feel like maybe there's a barbecue coffee.
You have a lot more Southern experience than me, so I appreciate you kind of leading this charge.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw out like the different things and let's see like where you want to put them, you know? I would say barbecue is a big thing. Obviously fried chicken, fried anything.
Yeah.
But they love that. There's
fried gator, but that's actually tofu, weirdly. Because they're like, we do not support the annihilation of the gator population.
Me and my husband, we actually, we try to go visit the swamp every year just to make sure that, you know, we're up to date with the newest trends. And so when we were there, we really enjoyed, we saw a couple of different lizards, which we did try to capture, but they were too fast, those little pesky demons. One of them bit my husband, and he got a weird rash, and we thought that was real cute and fun. But when we were down there, we decided that we were gonna get in a little boat, obviously, bring back a jar of the water and see if we could try to get the smell recreated. You know, we try to keep this as good as possible. But, you know, also we try to think like, what can we make into coffee based on what we see? You know, we came across a hermit named Jones, and he brought us to his little cabin. And boy, oh boy, did we learn a lot about the ways you can use fish and fish bones, you know? And so if you grind up a fish bone, it tastes like vanilla. And that's what we're saying here. So if you get the fresh fish Frappuccino, you're going to get a nice blend of vanilla, and it's good for pescatarians. If it's Lent, hoo-dowdy hooty. you're gonna really enjoy our fresh Frappuccino. Doesn't taste like fish, it tastes like vanilla. Just close your eyes and imagine.
Similarly, the lobster boil is actually flavored after cinnamon.
Good God.
The lobster boil is it's the largest size we have. It's 48 ounces of half-calf hot drip coffee with cinnamon syrup and a dash of Tabasco.
Just to keep things a little cozy and spicy. No, know what you're thinking too. Mayonnaise. Ooh, do we enjoy our mayonnaise? So what we thought is, what's the difference between milk and mayonnaise? Thickness. So what we do is we melt down the mayonnaise. And we get you some Duke's mayonnaise. We're going real southern with this, don't you worry. We got our Duke's mayonnaise and we melt it down, pour it in there. And then, we gotta give love to the butter. And butter coffee's a real thing. So, maybe they don't know that they've actually really tapped into something really bougie. I think butter coffee could be happening. And then there's mayonnaise coffee, which maybe they call, what'd you call mayonnaise coffee?
A thick silk gown.
I'd like a thick, sick gown. And what size would you like? Honkin'. I'd like the honkin' size.
I was trying to think of the name for this place. And do we think this place is well named or poorly named?
I'm trying to think, like, what's the length of the name? And is the length...
Yeah.
Is it a good name, even if it's long? Or is it a bad name, even if it's...
There is something, and I don't think I love this name, but there is something about this place just being called Swamp Mansion. Because it's so literal.
I do kind of enjoy Swamp Mansion.
And then, because that means the title of our podcast will have to be Swamp Mansion, parentheses, this is about a coffee shop, parentheses.
And I do enjoy that.
Yeah. And I do feel like this name, like, I want to be so clear, this place inside is immaculately themed. I would say arguably some of the single best theming in Clatfartburg.
I think you have to pick up a little lantern to be able to see where you're walking, because I'm imagining maybe it's like just docks is the setup for like the walking path, but like I really imagine it's super dark.
It's incredible.
I'm imagining Resident Evil. Like, that's like the level of like, like the one, whichever one is the house with the like zombie family.
I think 7.
I'm imagining that vibe of like, they have to, maybe their animatronic is like a 12-foot long boa constrictor.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I do think they have some like frogs on logs. You know, those ones.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think there's a turtle? Oh, wait, are turtles in swamps?
You can have some turtles. Yeah.
I saw 12 turtles on a walk yesterday.
Well, shit.
All on one log.
I love when they do that. I'm like, you're so goofy. My dog loves turtles. The world stops when there's a turtle. We've hunted down turtles. Not like hunting them, but like sniffed them out and then found them, and then she just sits and stares at them.
Well, that's sweet.
Which, yeah, it's fun for me. Just being there for 20 minutes looking at a turtle. I'm like, it's too much time to think about my life. I feel like there must... I love the idea that at one point they're like, we're just going to let the frogs loose. And they like weirdly become like a frog sanctuary.
Yeah. I do also think, because I think you order maybe inside the house. Mm-hmm. I think there should be one more dining area in the house, and we can discuss what that is. But I do think maybe the drinks are prepared on a large boat.
Oh, that's really cool.
I find that very charming.
Yeah, what if it's one of those big, the big motorboats you see with the giant fans?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's going to be huge.
Well, if you're preparing it there, it's like, you have the fan, but the fan is like the machinery.
Okay, I was picturing like a full steamboat. That makes way more sense what you're talking about. No. I was picturing the propellers on the back. I was like, that's a fan.
I'm like, these are the ones you see people use on the Amazon, when they're out there. Or they also use them in the Glades. I don't know why I keep going the Amazon.
But I think it has like a little covering on it.
Can the croissants be called manatees? Because they kind of look like manatees.
Are there manatees in the swamp? I did not know that.
They're not in the swamp, but they're in Florida. A manatee in the swamp would be fucking terrifying.
That's what I thought. I was like, what do you mean?
That would be horrifying. I'm glad you brought it. I was just like, what are fun creatures? I'm like, stupid bitch, don't do that. We do have snakes, but we have the boa constrictor, and we don't need to go further with the snakes. We can fire ants.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're in the swamp, but they sure as hell enjoy ruining lives.
The mocha's called the Pluff Mocha.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that malt flavor that they have is like,
I think it'll
takes
work.
back to the notes of the pluff mud.
We actually were inspired with the notes of the pluff mud. Also, and I do want to say this place is not immune to the gay barista. There's still like 3 gay baristas working at this place.
What do they have to wear?
I feel like they've really made the outfits their own, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody's in like mild Gator cosplay because they like that. They thought that'd be more fun.
Yeah.
Someone else is kind of living in like, you know, like the femme fatale Southern Gothic fantasy. And someone else is very much like overalls. Those are the 3. You can dress up as Gator, femme fatale, or overalls.
Oh, I love that.
You
get some
model
choice.
yourself off a member of the family. Either the Gator Mitzi, Swamp Twin, or her husband. You can choose what you want, but you must be one of the 3.
You gotta pick it, and don't you worry, we'll pay for your outfit. And if you need to sew on some
But imagine like you're in an
patches.
immaculately themed place, and then like a 22-year-old comes up to you in a full alligator costume to hand you your drink. You turn to your right, and someone's got a gator mask on, and they're making an Americano.
They look behind you, like, oh, one of our little gators just made an accident. One of my children. I'll go take care of that real quick. Like one of the dachshunds just like
Took a shit.
Took a little shit.
You turn to your left, there's a dachshund pissing off the dock into the water, and you're like, I really cannot fall in.
It is devastating.
Do we
you
think
fall
the
in that
boats
water.
are like... I imagine... I'm thinking about it. Do we think the boats rock? Do we think they value the immersion, or do you think they are like bolted to the ground so they can't really rock, and it's just like visually cool?
I think it's a happy medium. I think that they've put some stuff so they can't like people can't really turn over the boat, but I think it's gonna have some rock to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I think they're like, it's part of the experience, you know.
Life isn't always easy.
Don't you like feeling the look? Swamps are very still, but these are the few tiny little moments when you get to feel a movement. Listen to the bugs cricket. Listen to the gator swish, swish of the tail as it swims by you. You know what I mean? And they're like, no, we don't. What
They
are
sell
you
like
saying?
tote bags with all of that on it.
She's actually submitted multiple times to Southern Magazine, Southern Living. They still haven't posted, maybe one day, but they keep like not responding to her emails. And she's like, I've written the most beautiful essay for Southern Living all about this place. I think it's innovative that we brought in a humidifier because we want to make it as humid as possible. People say, oh my gosh, I was going to curl my hair when I got home, but now I just leave my hair's already curly from the humidity, you know? And that's just something we like to provide.
We have some men who like to go to the gym a lot, come in and get in like a sauna. What do we think's the other room in this mansion that people can access? I think there's a big staircase that leads to nowhere that you can't go up just for set dressing. But I think there's one more room. The parlor.
Maybe, I was going to say a parlor, a sitting room, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of weird couches. Like, this is the
and I
place
think
with a
none
ton
of them are
weird
really
couches.
comfortable.
No.
Weirdly, it's more fun to sit in the boats.
Yeah, they're all like the old kind that feel like if you sit on them, they're going to break, but they're really hard when you sit on them. But you're like, this is so thin, though. Oh, there has to be an annoying amount of wicker furniture as well.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone's just creaking as you...
Yeah.
constantly. And it smells like an antique store. They've put little mothballs in a bowl just for funsies, but then they had to stop doing that because people thought it was like candy. Maybe... No. Wait, it's candy, and they call it mothballs, and people are confused.
Yeah.
And no one eats the candy. So the candy sits out there for days and days. And they'll just see her, like, they'll watch the husband go by, and he'll just, like, get a handful. Again, he's just dropped off the coffee. He's dead staring at them, and he just go, well, those are some good mothballs I got there. I'm not going to get moths in my tummy. That's what they used to say. Hey, watch out for
Do you think
Mothman.
there's a pastry they do really well, and what do you think it is? I mean, I feel like beignets are the obvious one,
Oh, I think that's a good choice.
but I feel like they also make a mean eclair. I don't know why.
I kind of like that. That makes sense to me.
tails.
Okay.
It's
Just
an
a little
eclair,
gator tails
but
and
the
gator-
chocolate on top is green, and it looks like a shitty gator.
Maybe the beignets are like, these are what we call icy toads. The toads with a little snow on them.
that we get in the swamp.
We get them swamp. I really thought other words were coming out of my mouth, and I just kept saying the same
Do
one.
we think it needs any other qualifiers besides Swamp Mansion? Would it be like Grand Swamp Mansion, you know?
The old Swamp Mansion, the Grand Swamp Mansion.
Swamp Mansion experience.
Yeah, I think... Oh, one of my gators is barking in this house. Yeah, I think there needs to be one more word. Maybe it's
I think so, too. And it doesn't need to be Swamp Mansion. I do think the name should be a little stupid, but is Swamp Mansion too stupid, you know?
Swamp Manor?
Grand Swamp Manor.
Does that, like, flow a little better?
Swamp Manor. Swamp Manor Drinky.
Swamp Swigs?
Swamp Swigs, but I feel like that's too cute. I like Swamp Swigs, but like
Swamp Twigs and Swigs.
This is the twin for Hunch for Lunch who likes to do things differently.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't think the name should be clever, with all respect to it. I think Swamp Swigs is a really good name.
That's too good.
But that makes it too cute, despite the fact there are dachshunds in gator costumes swimming around constantly.
We've got boats, we've got gators, we've got the mansion, the manor, the house, the
Gator Swamp
place. Welcome to the Gator Swamp Mansion. A coffee shop. I like it. Gator Swamp Mansion is actually amazing.
Shop. Yeah, it didn't need the word of gator, and that is somehow feels better.
There we go.
Gator Swamp Mansion.
The Gator Swamp Mansion.
Does it have colon? A job.
I think they haven't put a coffee shop there at all. I think that's just us having to say that. They just call it Gator Swamp Mansion, and you have to hunt to understand what the fuck that
And then you walk in, and the menu is like, thick silk dress.
Lacy gloves.
Gator tails.
Mayonnaise.
Old muddy road. Pluff mocha. And you're like, hold on. I see something there.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Oh, can we circle back really quick to the live performances?
Yeah.
I wanted to touch base on that again because I really liked the idea. So are these like local people, or is this just like the same person who keeps coming back? Like they've got someone on retainer who just keeps coming back.
I mean, part of me thinks it is Swamp Twin.
Oh, I love this. Now, what's her instrument of choice? Banjo, 2 on the nose, washboard, jaw harp, the spoons.
The spoons.
The spoon. They call me Spoons is my nickname because I play the spoons real well.
Spoon Swamp.
Spoon Swamp. You know, I love Swamp and I love spoons.
Changing my name to Spoon Swamp.
Yeah, and it's funny because my husband's name is Bruce, but I'm changing it to Spruce, so he'll be Spruce Spoons.
Wait, that doesn't make sense because her name is Spoon Swamps.
Well, that's why it's so cute. Spoon Swamps and Spruce Spoons. That's his middle name. Like he's taken my maiden name, which is made up name, as his middle name, so he'll be Spruce Spoon Swamp. If you follow, and then yes, I suppose that I would be Spoons Swamp Spoons.
Swamp Spruce Spoons.
So my middle name's Spruce now.
Spruce Swamp.
No, I'm not. There's no Spruce with me. I'm Cypress. Because I used to be Cynthia. Magnolia actually would be probably a really good name for her.
Yeah.
But it's
get rid of everything we said.
Yeah, the Magnolia actually would be a really great Southern name for her, like 1950s shit. But his name is Spruce.
You can't pry that out of our cold dead hands.
Yeah, here comes Spruce.
Magnolia Spoon Swamp and her husband Spruce Swamp.
This is really beautiful. I'm really happy. I love diving into the Southern Gothic. Now, everybody, welcome. Get yourself down there to the Gator Swamp Mansion. We're so excited to have you here. We got some new specials for you, okay? Here they come on out now. Look here. We got some good little beignets. That's right, the little gator bites. We also have a good croissant. We call them manatees. Don't be mistaken. Batanas are not up here in the swamp, but they are in Florida. And what is Florida but a big old swamp? Oh, man, it's a lovely place to be here. We're also now hiring if you'd like to come on down. Thank you.
The one gator barista dances along to Rock the Wagon Wheel song so aggressively every morning.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. The Gator barista's like really into it to the point that even Magnolia's a little bit like,
Yeah, a little.
why aren't you just, you little special girl, bless your heart, little
So
Gator.
what do you do outside when you're not at the Gator Swamp Mansion?
You know, I don't take it off. I kind of just walk around with it.
Oh.
You know what's really fun is going to the grocery store as a Gator. I really enjoy doing that, and in fact, I'm going on a first date later, and I'm thinking like I might still rock some of this Gator. You know, like I think it's just like.
Sometimes it's important to take a rest. I mean, even Magnolia Spoon Swamp sometimes has a day off.
Oh, I'm just, you know.
Well, actually, the person I'm going out with is from Alien Clubs, and I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm like way less weird than they
I'll be
are.
totally fine.
Honestly, like I'm out of their league, so really, I just figure, fuck it. This is like is more comfortable than jeans.
Did
So
you say
like,
he's an alien all the time? They can accept me as a Gator.
yeah. Oh my god, here she's walking in right now.
Hello. Hello. I am here to take you out on your date.
That's Josephine.
And then Magnolia takes some big sunglasses off. I can't believe it. Aliens in my swamp.
And then the night the lights went out and Georgia started playing, like Reba just starts blasting on the radio, and then she walks away. Oh, I love that.
Well, I hope you all want to take a trip down to the Swamp Mansion.
The Gator Swamp.
The Gator
Mansion.
Swamp Mansion, to be precise. I do still want to go. My excitement has been tempered a bit by the episode, but
Yes.
the joy of the theming, I love it.
Coffee and creatures, what more could you ask for? Also, a bunch of little wiener dogs. I cried. I'm a grown
I
woman
forgot
who
you
wept.
did cry.
Yes, I did.
Well, I mean, you cried because you made yourself laugh so hard.
yes.
And that's something I think you, as a person, it is really impressive what you will push through to keep telling your story, even though no one can hear you and understand you.
That was really impactful out of context. No one will hear your story, but it's impressive what you will push through, even though no one can hear or understand your story. It's like the time I was trying to give Felicia like happy, uplifting advice, and I was like, sometimes it's not about the journey, it's just about the end.
That's right, I remember. It was the most depressing advice I've ever
was
gotten in
like,
my life. And I was
wait.
like, Elaine, I don't think you should be giving advice today.
I was like, oh wait, no, I didn't mean that. Oh boy.
Thank you everybody for listening to this episode of Clatfartburg. If you have things you want to see in the future, thoughts, opinions, what would you order? What's something you think would be on the menu at this restaurant? You can tell us on Instagram at Clatfartburg or clatfartburg@gmail.com. And if you want more content from us, we are putting out bonus content on our Buy Me a Coffee, which is at clatfartburg.com. We should be released by the time this episode absolutely will be. It's released. We just released a Newsies commentary track, which is one of Elaine's old favorites. It was my first time experiencing it, and it was really exhilarating. We invented Newsies personas.
I already forgot about that.
So
Wow.
if you want to hear about the plight of Turtle and Smacks, that's available to you.
Well, thank you so much for visiting Clatfartburg. And make sure to brush your teeth. You got all those coffee grounds in your teeth. Make sure you got your sunglasses when you leave the Gator Swamp Mansion, as it will have been so dark. You will be seeing the sun for the first time in a while. And you best be going on and having yourself one of the best blessed days you've ever had in your life. You hear?
I've got
Rock
your
me,
espresso
mama, like a
Gator for you. Do you want it?
Mama, anyway.
It's in the lantern.
Mama,
Bye.